Welcome to DJNTV and Tuesday Night with Ben Stowe. Now introducing the one and only Ben Stowe.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Here we go. Good evening to Ben's new studio on Tuesday Night with Ben Stowe.
You may notice I'm in a little different place here.
Something happened with your collection on the back there. Your Star Wars stuff. I mean, the can light doesn't look quite the same.
Well, not much looks normal here either. I'm actually at the airport right now, and they're doing some construction. I had to find a gate that was fairly empty so I could try to do the show for you. And so I found one that's under construction.
And if you're in Minneapolis, there's quite a few under construction down there.
It's not hard to find ones that are under construction for sure. So, but that's how fresh and cutting edge the information that I have for you today is.
So to put this in perspective, you haven't even gotten home to kiss your wife, and you're sharing LDI information.
That is a fact. And in fact, some of the photos have not yet even synced over from my phone to my computer so I can share them with you. So we're going to talk about some ones that are, and then we'll just have to see what happens here with these other ones. So
excellent. So for those who don't know, LDI, give us a little what the experience is like, or what it is.
Well, I actually have the perfect picture for that, or video. Ooh. Maybe even. What LDI is it started out, I think, as Lighting Design International or something, and they've tried to change that. They've tried to thematically change that, and this year it was in partnership with DSE, which is the digital signage show. And they've tried to not make it a lighting show, but it is. It really is. So it's sort of a production touring lighting show. There really wasn't one single audio booth there, which pained me greatly, but there's a lot of great lighting things there. And this is much more things on the pro side. But of course, the pro side tends to kind of lead the industry. And then, the DJ side tends to get some of these technologies and topologies, subsequently thereafter, in some manner of time, right? But also there's a lot of our viewers that are using some of the pro products.
Sure.
So, there's a bit of a crossover there. And I spend a lot of time talking to some of these manufacturers and trying to help them understand that,
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I have a video. We'll see if it'll share. Just kind of gives you kind of an example of what a LDI booth might look like.
Sure.
And kind of an example of who they're targeting. This particular one I took a video of is it's showing some of the automation where the lights themselves move. And I don't mean just like a moving light, like a moving head, but there's automations in the truss that raise and lower the lighting fixtures. So let me see if this will actually play, and I could do a screen share, and it will go. And then I'll just show you another picture here in
Sure.
just a second as well. So, we'll share. I don't know. We don't need to share sound. So. All right. Let me know when you see it.
There we are. Yeah.
And I'll click play. So you can see the fixtures themselves are actually moving.
So they're on a raising and lowering lift
if you
system.
look up in the ceiling, you can see all these motors that are hanging in the ceiling. All of these motors, that are raising and lowering these fixtures. So, pretty wild.
Mm-hmm.
And another example I think would be, for example, Astera, which is a brand that some DJs have come to know, as their AX1s have been very popular with DJs.
Yeah.
This is just a fraction of the Astera booth. They had a massive, 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 massive booth. Their booth was about the size of the MEX DJ show floor total, I think.
Wow.
I mean, it maybe it was probably about the size of the entire DJ section at MEX, and that was the Astera booth. And where I think that's more meaningful is, I think, DJs are often buying like the 8-packs of the AX1s, very popular fixture. Astera's typical customer is maybe buying 500 of those, for a tour or something. And so I think the fact that these companies, pay attention to DJs and are willing to help us support the DJ industry, that really impresses me. We had some issues with some products, and we were able to get that manufacturer to actually jump in and treat our customers like they deserve to be treated, which is
Sure.
that they matter as much as any customer. We don't rank people, and so we try to win that fight with our manufacturers too, and say no, our customers are special, even if they only order 8 lights and not 800 lights.
Right. Interesting.
But I think it's just kind of neat, I think, for people to see the difference in scale, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're talking, the film industry versus the touring industry versus, the DJ industry, so.
Yeah, that's always interesting when you I've gone to different shows and see that, and it's like, well, wait, I've never seen anything like that. It's like
Yeah, no, that of course.
completely.
Well, and again, but that's where the innovation is driven by. It's all driven by money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Money drives innovation. You don't develop a product that's not going to sell or make money, or you try not to anyway. So I think that's what's been really pretty cool about this is you're sort of getting a time machine to see the future of what we will see in the DJ industry eventually, right? So
Certainly.
now some of this is stuff we're going to see right now. Now, again, it's not to say that everything there is not DJ minded. There certainly are things that are DJ minded, and I picked out a few.
Nice.
Some are pro products that I think would be a great crossover, and others are products that are really well aimed right at a DJ. So let's see where to start.
Well, first off, Superfly's with us, and he had heard that there were some new lights that had dropped, and specifically some ADJ had dropped some lights there. But that's what he's wondering about, talking about new stuff that you saw. So
Yes, exactly.
opening the door for that.
Well, it's funny, that we might say there were new lights there because there were hundreds of new lights there. So, to that end, that's just the thing too. I think the sheer scale of it, right? Let's pop up the ADJ booth real quick. I got a video of that. So,
So now, one of the things when last time I was at LDI, they had everything was a program light show pretty much. Are they doing that? Because they noticed they didn't do that at NAMM like they had at LDI.
Well, here again, just to call a spade a shovel, NAMM is predominantly a music store show,
Mm-hmm.
and it's become increasingly an end user show. And the economies of scale just don't make sense there,
Mm-hmm.
for the time and the labor. For example, Chevet's Professionals booth at LDI, was, gosh, I don't know, 100 by 100. It was massive, and they had an actual aerialist performer.
Oh, geez.
They probably spent millions of dollars on that booth.
Mm-hmm.
But they're also going to be, they're selling lights to, Dave Matthews Band tour.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's economies of scale. You have to say, well, who's going to NAMM, and would I spend that kind of money on that show? And the answer is no, I would not. If I was selling guitars, maybe I would, but a lot of companies are pulling out of NAMM. A lot of manufacturers aren't going to NAMM anymore. So I can't really speak to their reasons. I certainly have ideas, but I think it would be individual. And ultimately, at the end of the day, people are just deciding that it doesn't make sense. I know for a fact, so we just talked about Chevet Pro probably spent $1 million at LDI or more. Chevet is not going to be at NAMM at all, So, it's just like everybody watching the show, anybody who does any wedding shows or anything like that, you have to decide which ones make sense, right?
Certainly.
You're going to go to the ones that make sense for your client. And so, no, I don't think you see that at NAMM quite like you do at LDI because, again, the audience is really different. So, so let's just take a look at you mentioned program lights there, right? There is audio that syncs with this too. I just didn't link it over in Zoom.
Now that's fine. It's probably better without audio. That way you can talk over.
Yeah, but it's exactly what you were talking about, where it's it's sequenced and programmed, and I think American ADJ, excuse me, I'm kind of dating myself there.
Yeah, pretty much.
They understand who the target audience at LDI is, right?
Yeah, really that concert, that higher end than the typical mobile DJ when it comes to needs of lighting.
Right. Again, I'm not I mean, I started out by making lights out of coffee cans. I'm not picking on anybody for.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, certainly
But
not.
you have a tour that's going to buy 200 lights that are $10,000 each versus a DJ that most don't buy any lights that cost $10,000.
The whole light show
And,
may not cost $10,000. Yeah.
and it probably wouldn't make sense to do it, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, if you do buy a $10,000 light, you're probably just showing off, to be honest with you, right?
Yeah.
So
It's probably too bright for most of our applications. So.
well, I mean, yeah, that's some of these lights are, you have to almost be careful, right? If you accidentally look into one, you aren't going to see anything for a while. You have to be careful with your phone. You'll, burn out your sensor in your phone. But speaking of ADJ, they did have a new light, and this is a new fixture that they're going to be releasing, and these link together. They're battery powered. It uses their new wireless DMX protocol. Which I think, if memory serves, is ARIA. But anyway, these have again, I'm very fresh and I'm trying to download a lot mentally here.
Yeah.
But these have, like L-track for mounting. They also clip together with each other. Really impressed me. So, excuse me, I didn't mean to cancel that share.
No, good.
Of course, our good friend Edgar there in the
Yeah, I haven't
background.
seen him in a while. That was nice.
But this caught my attention. It mounts to this stand plate. And of course, very modular. Can hang from a truss, can be mounted vertically in a column array type thing here.
So you could put 3 or 4 or more?
Or more, yeah.
Nice.
Really, really pretty impressed. Battery powered wireless DMX. Very solid metal, nice pro feeling fixture.
What does that have for LEDs? Is it a RGB, or do you remember?
I don't.
Okay.
I would imagine I imagine it's a hex, but we're seeing more people too that are or companies that are coming out with like lime and things too.
Exactly. So there's so many things that possible. So it'll be exciting to when that eventually, when we see more information on that. But no, neat find.
We talked about this a show or two ago. Chevet Pro had lime 4 or 5 years ago, and that's exactly what I was just talking about earlier. Where this is like a time machine, sort of. We can go in the future and see what we're going to get in a few years.
No, certainly.
Or for those that are running, more, upper tier DJ companies, event, design, event production, you're probably buying those things now.
For sure.
And of course, I think, really, honestly, John, I think our customers, I think that who NLFX aligns itself with best are the upper tier customers. I think that the people who do business with NLFX they tend to be, among the industry's leaders. I think, we sort of are kind of a top down kind of company. And again, we love helping everybody. Doesn't matter where you're at. We've helped a lot of people go from lower level up, and that's kind of always our goal. So that's why I kind of think that some of these things are a good fit for maybe some of our viewers, is that these are people who are either, and of course, viewers, I'm talking about you like you're not watching right now, right? But, they're either people, or you're either people that are at that upper level, or you're aspiring to get there. So. Anyway,
they are hex color.
Thank you. Yeah, I
RGB, AL plus UV.
So that is the lime, yeah.
Yeah, so they put
RGB,
lime in there.
So they do have the lime in there, yeah.
Thanks, Superfly, for that. Appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for bailing me out, buddy.
No, you've looked at a few lights, so
you know what? Not only are our viewers, I think, people that are at the upper tier in the industry or headed there, but they're also the greatest, like the coolest, right? Like, thanks for doing my show for me. I appreciate that.
What do you have for us next here, Ben? And for those of you wondering, again, Ben is in Minneapolis, and he's going to be catching an airplane to Bemidji here in just a little bit. So we want to keep.
I'm actually not flying to Bemidji. I'm not even actually headed home yet tonight. So I'm headed to another place, but. So no, I'm not flying to Bemidji, unfortunately.
Well, he's flanked.
But anyway, I digress. So another company that I think really has been known for entry-level products, lower tier products, even within the DJ realm, has been steadily making strides up, and now they are launching a pro division, and they're really, really making a step to, some of their new stuff really looks solid. Really anxious to see where that goes, but it looks like they put a lot of money into R&D. The fixtures were very solid metal housings. The moving lights really looked great. They had some new wireless uplights, which the rest of the world will see soon. And of course, will be available from NLFX. But one of the things they launched, which really had me impressed, and this company is JMAS, by the way, they have a new video wall.
Ooh.
And this is they call it Bright Box. And you can see it here, sort of. This has become very popular amongst DJs, having kind of a video screen front board.
Yeah.
Of course, as opposed to a TV, this is actually LED video wall, and this is a 0.9. So the pixels are so tight together, you really can't even tell. And in fact, I was able to get access to some of the video panels that you can't even see where the LEDs are on that, but that is a 0.9 video panel. And you can see now if I zoom in where they are,
Yeah. Wow.
that was something.
Crazy.
And sounds like you may have a chance to see that with us at MEX. So
Nice.
but we'll be releasing more information about that shortly. And here again, you can see some of their other fixtures. Like I said, they're getting into JMAS Professional, and they've got metal housings and bigger lights, and really moving into they're stepping into that pro realm, I think, which is going to be
Sure.
a big step for them. And I think that's going to bring up that whole DJ line of products as well. So
Nice.
anxious to see where that goes. Yeah.
Good for them. Good for them.
So as not to miss my flight, I'm going to boogie right along here. Another company that, of course, is known for professional grade products, and I use a lot of them myself, is Antari. All they make is atmospheric products. So, well, with the exception of their blacklight and UV paint, but other than that, all they make is, fog machines and haze machines and snow machines. And they actually have gone the opposite direction. They still have a lot of really pro stuff, but they realized that some of their machines were out of reach for some customers. So they've actually introduced a slightly lower cost line, but of course, still made by the fine folks at Antari. So their new FX Works series. And of course, all of these products are or will be available from Mental Effects. But Antari's introduced this new FX Works series, which is just a lower cost version of like their F5, F4, F6 Hazer, phaser. I've owned an F4 for years and love it. So
Nice.
yeah. This one's kind of cool. I think it's still just in the concept stage. This is a product that doesn't even exist, but kind of a neat thing. This is using a special chip light source. This is a new gobo projector from Apollo.
Okay.
And it actually allows you, if you kind of look at the picture, you can see how these gobos are bent or curved. And in a traditional light source, if we projected those, you would have distortion and it would be out of focus on the edges and in focus in the middle, or vice versa, right?
Yeah,
But you
very
could focus
sure.
one or the other. You couldn't do it all. This stays in focus everywhere throughout the entire image. Really quite wild. I think it's just the lighting equivalent of wizardry, really. And the product doesn't actually exist. These housings were 3D printed, and the fixture was very much prototype, but definitely a very cool thing and something you could put very, very close to a wall too. Now, whether or not that'll be something DJs would use, hard to say, but I think event designers are going to find a lot of use for this. I think there's going to be a lot of applications for our friends that are doing event and decor, many of whom, of course, are watching the show.
Very much so, yeah. A lot of our friends do that.
Speaking of which, this is not a new product, but I felt like it needed to be mentioned anyway. And again, available from Mental Effects. Air wall hanger from the light source. And as you can see, my favorite 4 words when you're talking about rigging equipment, made in the USA. This is a air wall track hanger. It does not work in every air wall track, but it works in many air wall tracks. Always follow the manufacturer's directions, so on and so forth, so and so. But this allows you to safely suspend a light from an air wall track. So anywhere your venue has an air wall track, again, as long as the venue is okay with this product is designed and engineered and made in the USA for that purpose. This device will hold 500 pounds, so plenty for any thing that I think any of our viewers are going to hang, or anything I would hang. And then, of course, your limitation is what the air wall itself will have.
Sure.
So, that's something to discuss with the venue. But wanted to mention this, and you just put your standard 2-inch clamp on here. In fact, I have a picture of that somewhere. Really tried to do a good job for your viewers, so thanks for hanging in. So here we can see this clamp now clamped onto that, right there. Right? So,
is that a little adjustment wheel in the middle there that I'm seeing?
yes, that's exactly what this
Kind
is.
of spreads it out.
yeah, this pin that keeps it from once you get it to the correct width, that pin keeps that wheel from turning. So of course this doesn't fall out. That's a good
It's an
thing.
important thing. Yeah, yeah.
Very important.
But the bracket could
And
hold 500 pounds. Well, yeah, but you didn't have it seated properly. Oh,
right, yeah,
but the
exactly. It's
bracket said.
correct. Yeah, like
Yeah,
I said, this is that's a whole nother topic, right?
that is.
Rigging and rigging safety, but of course, sure better than using something you just conjured up, on a napkin. I mean, this is done
Yeah.
done by engineers and light source. The light source makes a tremendous amount of clamps and rigging equipment and things like that I use,
Mm-hmm.
equipment that I trust and have for a long, long time. So I thought, you know what, this isn't new, but a lot of our viewers may not have seen
I
this. So I
haven't.
thought,
I haven't either. So that was neat to see.
yeah. So to me, I was like, new is relative, right? If you've never seen it, it's new. So there you
Mm-hmm.
go.
There we go.
Let's see. Honorable mentions, maybe. I think we have some other cool stuff
Yep.
here too, but let's see. Honorable mentions, maybe. Oh golly, these things are not sinking over. Come on, please. One thing here too. This is fairly new, but our friends at Gator have released a cart which looks very similar to another cart you may have seen.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, pretty sure it's pretty much the same blueprint. But Gator said, anything you can do, we can do better. So we're going to do it. So anyway, they have only a couple variants of this cart, one size. But I am told that we are going to have a ridiculous Rockstar special on these for MEX. So keep your eyes out for that. Black Friday might come in February. So
Now those are those pneumatic tires?
you know what? I
It
think they're
looks like
foam filled.
I was gonna say
I
I don't see
don't know.
I don't see an air valve on them. So
Yeah, I would imagine that they've also gone with the foam filled
yeah.
like Rock and Roller has.
Mm-hmm.
Um, embarrassed to say I don't know, but
Yeah. Well, again, we're just all looking and learning together here, so we're good.
that's
Good
exactly
stuff.
right.
Mm-hmm.
So I have another product itself isn't new, but I'm going to tell you there's something that's new about it. So first I'm going to tell you about the product, and I think maybe we've talked about this in the past, but it's worth talking about again. So let's say you have a light. And of course, one of the challenges with DJ level, light fixtures is, their optics aren't that great. We talked about that, I think, last week, what you get with a pro level fixture versus a DJ level fixture in terms of color mixing and optics. But, sometimes it just doesn't make sense to spend the money on those more expensive fixtures. And, we have to do what's right for our clients and we have to make do, right?
Yeah.
So this is the OptiSculpt filters from Roscoe. Great American theatrical products company, been making lighting products since over 100 years. And here we can see this is the light as it's projected. And now I'm just going to stick one of these OptiSculpt filters in front of the light. And we can see how that, you see kind of the very bottom of the image where that light is, right?
Sure.
Going through the filter. Hopefully that shows up okay.
Very good. Yes, looks good.
So we can see what happened to that light beam. And they have a whole bunch of different flavors of these. Like this one is a directional diffusion. We can see how that now has made it directional. Maybe here's a better example. So I could take this round beam of light and I could actually make it wider. Let's say I have some battery powered up lights I want to put against the wall, but I want a more even wash on the wall. I could use these. But here's the real thing. So these are sold in 20 by 24-inch sheets.
Mm-hmm.
DJs had a hard time deciding which one should I have. Should I get this one? Should I get that one? What should I do? Anyway, so our friends at Roscoe have made this way simpler. They now have they call it a test kit, but I'm going to call it a you just need this kit because they were thinking about, pro lighting designers that just would want samples. And I said, guys, this is perfect. This is the perfect size for a DJ level fixture. And basically for the price of 3 filters, you get 11 filters. So for basically the price of 3, you get 11 filters, 7 by 7. You basically get one of every single one they make: 10 degree, 20 degree, 30 degree, 40 by 60, 60 by 40, 10 by 60. The whole gambit in this. And these are nanoplastics that are specially designed for LED. They're not like some of these cheaper diffusion filters that people have used. Well, now they are actually the same price, so that's a bonus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Warren Buffett said, price is what you pay and value is what you get. These are phenomenal value, and now in that pack, I think they're really awesome. So I don't think it's on the NLFX site yet, but give it a day. And and we're going to have those test kits available for purchase. And you can just get as many test kits as you have lights, and now you have all 11 OptiScope filters for all of your lights. It's incredibly affordable and problem solved.
Nice.
Bang. Awesome.
Yeah, it's incredible what they can do. How they can bend that magic that they can bend lights around corners almost.
Oh yeah, and speaking of magic, Roscoe released a new fixture, which I didn't put in the show because it deserves its own show. So I would like to invite my friend Henry onto the show here
Yeah.
to talk about it. It's a game changer. It's a game changer. So a future week, John, we're gonna have to do that.
Yeah, that was fun last time we had the Roscoe. We talked to Roscoe.
Oh yeah,
later.
Henry's great. Yeah, in fact, those who follow me on Facebook can see that I actually ran into him at breakfast at my hotel this morning.
Yeah, saw
He's
the
very
picture.
happy he was at my hotel, and we were both in our pajamas. And that picture was not intended to get out publicly, but then he encouraged me. He's a bad influence. Like we're both bad influences on each other. So it was actually his idea to post it. And I said, really, man? So we're in our jammies. And he's like, yeah, man, you got to post that picture. So I had originally just taken it to send back to the office because Henry is very well loved at our office. And it was like, hey, you guys aren't going to believe who I ran into here. But anyway, so yeah, jammy party with me and Henry. So
Nice. Do you have any final, because we need to wrap up here, Ben, and so you can be on your way here for your next.
yeah, I mean, there are some other, I could talk, obviously LDI is a big show and there's a lot of stuff there, but I think that's probably a good place to put a pin in it for today.
Good. Excellent.
More to be continued, right?
Yeah, exactly. We'll have more things to talk about as we move forward and such. So thank you for putting that together and taking some pictures and giving us an idea of what was going on in Las Vegas there this past weekend. That was neat.
My pleasure.
How was
Thanks
the weather?
as always for what? Yep. What?
How was the weather?
It was really nice and warm. It was mid to high 60s, sunny. Yeah.
They told you
nice.
It snowed here, right?
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we had snow and it was cold.
Okay. But we need the snow. I was
We
trying
do.
to explain this to people I was trying to explain this to people at LDI that, where we get and it gets minus 30, minus 40. If we don't get snow, that frost line is going to get so deep, wells will freeze, water pipes will freeze. Much as we don't want the snow, we need the snow.
For sure.
Also, I live on the edge of a forest, and no snow means very dry and forest fires, and that's not good.
That's not good. Yeah, we definitely need it. So, hey, up next, you can go to the chill room, djntv.com/chill. Brian and the guys are going to be putting together a Christmas list tonight of music. They'll be talking Christmas music, and we're going to be getting that one up to stream right away the next either tomorrow or next Wednesday. So you guys will be able to see it if you didn't catch it tonight. Again, djntv.com/chill. They'll be doing that here in about between 2 and 5 minutes. So, Ben, safe travels, my friend, and we will catch you next week.
Sounds great. Thanks, everybody.
Okay. Night.